The Arc Northern Chesapeake region is a nonprofit organization that provides those with differing abilities the opportunities to live, work, and thrive in our community. The Arc provides many job opportunities for those within the county. In this edition, we'll learn about their partnership with the Harford County Sheriff's Office and hear from one of the employees who has received national recognition. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. Shawn Cross is the Chief Executive Officer for the Arc Northern Chesapeake region. She is here with me today at the Harford County Sheriff's Office to talk about all the opportunities that the Arc offers its clients, and especially about one prize employee that we will be talking about today. Shawn, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Shawn, tell me about the Arc Northern Chesapeake region. When did you begin, and why did the organization initially start?
Well, we support people in Harford and Cecil County who have intellectual or developmental disabilities. And it got started in 1953 by a group of parents who were really interested in having something for their children educationally and career-wise. And over the course of time, now we do all types of supports for families and adults who have children with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
What does ARC stand for?
It's not an acronym.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And it stands for the ARC. We support people across the arc of their life. And the only thing for R is about respect.
So, Shawn, we don't say disability, we say differing ability. What exactly does that mean?
So we all believe that people have differing abilities, and when people say disabilities, it's about the shortcomings. Mm-hmm. And so differing abilities, just all of us have differing abilities, different talents and traits that we can succeed in life if we can just imagine how to put them to use.
And who benefits from the organization?
So we support people, like I said, across the arc of their life. So we support families who have children, mm-hmm. Who have intellectual or developmental disabilities, differing abilities, but we also support adults. So we help them find career choices, develop relationships, have volunteer experiences, live independently, live a life that you and I dream of.
Now, what kind of programs and services does the ARC offer to help those with differing abilities in our community?
So we have a range of services, and so we have employment, so people who are looking for jobs or career growth, so we help them around employment. If they want to live independently, we have a community living program, so they can have roommates and or live by themselves or a couple of roommates. And we also have a community program where we help people navigate their community, kind of learn what the businesses are, what kind of things they can do during the day, some volunteer opportunities. We have a treatment foster care program for children. And then we also have a resource program that is just families can call, whether you have a child with a differing ability or not. So anybody can call in and just get Harford County or statewide resources.
How many people would you say the ARC supports?
So we support in the adult program about almost 400 people, and then in our family support that supports people across the arc of their life, about another 400.
Now, I know the organization has grown a lot in recent years, so let's talk a little bit about that.
It really has, because of the need for the that the families have, but also I think our services, when people want to get jobs or they try to find employment, they have some meaningful opportunities there.
How is the organization funded? I know it takes a lot of money to keep an organization of this magnitude going.
Yes, so we are funded by the Developmental Disability Administration out of Maryland, DDA as we know it, and that is where most of our funding comes from. Also Harford County, they also support our mission, which we greatly appreciate, and then we also fundraise, of course.
Now, Shawn, COVID has had a major impact on all of our lives, and I imagine it's had quite an impact on the ARC as well. Is that true?
Significantly. So all of our services, for the most part, stopped on March 13th, and that meant a lot of people stayed home with their families. were not getting some of the day supports. Now, on the other hand, our community living program, our residential program, we have about 30 homes in the county. Those started running 24/7, and so we needed to provide staffing and all kinds of things 24/7 for that group. And then we have, which I think is interesting, is that there were a number of supported employees, people that we support who work in the community, that continued working during this time. Wow. They were considered essential employees, just like our team members were called essential employees.
Well, in this challenging time, it's all about doing things together, helping each other. What can we do as a community to help the ARC with their mission?
One is to remember who we are during this time, and we had so many generous just donations during this time, with between masks and cleaning supplies and donations of personal protective equipment, because we had to provide support, and also helping us find other resources that are available, donating to our direct support professionals. They're real heroes. I mean, those team members showed up every day, supported people, kept people safe and healthy, and just remember us, and so that we can continue to support all of the people we support, as well as our team members.
Now, as we said earlier, we're here at the Sheriff's Office in Harford County, and we're talking about their prize employee, Jack. Now, besides Jack, I know there's a lot of other opportunities that you have given people with differing abilities. Can you talk about some of those other opportunities?
So we have a range of employment opportunities, and so Jack works in janitorial as custodial work. So we have people who provide that type of work, all the way to people who work at the base and do data entry, and everything in between: grocery stores, gas stations, office attorneys' offices, other business offices. Distribution centers. So it's really, what we look at is, what does the business need? And we believe it's a business decision, it's a good business decision to hire people with differing abilities. And there's lots of reasons why, and call us and we'll help you find a match.
Now, for anybody that's interested in maybe gaining some employment or volunteering or donating, what is the best way to reach you?
So visit us at www.arcncr.org, or call us at 410-836-7177, or email me, whichever works best.
Sean, thank you again so much for everything that you've done for Jack and all of the businesses in Harford County, and for your leadership mostly.
Well, thank you, Chrissy. I really appreciate it.
Well, so many programs and benefits for members of our community with differing abilities. What are those? We'll dive more into that coming up next. Joe Hughes is the Director of Employment Services for the ARC Northern Chesapeake region, and he is here today to tell us about all the opportunities available to people in our community with differing abilities. Hi, Joe.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thanks for being here. Now, Joe, tell me about your role as Director of Employment Services. What exactly does that entail?
My role is to support the Employment Services team, and that team works with just about 170 individuals who are either looking for work or currently working, and we are supporting those individuals in retaining their jobs.
Now, Joe, finding a job, developing a career, that can be difficult for anyone. So how is the ARC Northern Chesapeake region helping those with differing abilities reach that goal?
Yeah, so the team worked very hard to initially get to know each individual that we provide services to. And that's done through a variety of assessments, community-based assessments, career exploration. And our whole goal and mission is to truly find out what individuals' strengths, needs, preferences, and ideal conditions for employment are.
How many people would you say are supported by the program overall?
We currently support a little over 170 individuals in the Employment Services program.
Now, what type of jobs are people with differing abilities capable of? And do they have opportunities to turn it into a full-blown career?
Absolutely. The folks that we support work in all jobs. Any and all jobs. It's really based on the individual's unique skills and interests and abilities, and putting those abilities and strengths towards the job of their choosing.
Joe, how does Employment Services decide the best match between the employer and the employee? How is that done?
What we do is we work really hard to get to know both the individual and the employer. So we get to know the individual, again, their strengths, needs, and preferences and ideal conditions for employment. And then we actually really do our best to network and reach out to partners in the community, employers, and find out what their business needs are and create that match.
Can you talk about some of the partnerships that you've developed with employers within Harford County?
Sure, we have plenty of partnerships. We actually have over 100 partnerships in the Harford County region alone, ranging from automotive companies like Thompson Automotive, Aberdeen Proving Grounds, local libraries, Acadia Windows and Doors, manufacturing. We actually supported someone in just obtaining employment at Gabe's, a local retail store.
Oh, I know Gabe's.
You know Gabe's. And that job was obtained during COVID, which is really a neat situation. Individuals was hired to do a fitting room assistant position.
Now, you mentioned COVID-19, so let's dive into that. How has the employment services for the employees and the employers been impacted during this time?
During COVID, obviously there were some individuals who were not working during that time. But thankfully, we have supported 56 individuals in maintaining their work right now through COVID who are considered essential employees.
Joe, what kind of feedback have you received from the employers about the employees that you provided?
Fantastic feedback. Of course, it's a good match. We make sure of that. And not only are we there for the application, the hiring, and throughout the whole orientation process. But my team also, through job coaching, we also support folks in retaining their jobs. So we provide on-the-job support and on-the-job assistance to make sure that individuals get acclimated to their job and can retain their jobs.
Now, obviously, Jack works here at the Harford County Sheriff's Office. What other positions are you filling or have you filled?
Plenty of positions. We support individuals in positions at grocery stores, manufacturing, front desk reception positions, you name it, as we said. The folks that we support can do any job imaginable.
Now, for anybody that owns a business or working in a business that might be interested in obtaining employees through the Arc Northern Chesapeake region, how would they go about doing that?
Well, we would love to hear from potential employers, and they can reach out to us or visit us at arcncr.org.
Joe, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all the opportunities that you're providing for our community, especially those with differing abilities.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, coming up next, we're going to speak to Sheriff Jeff Gaylor on what it's like to work with Jack here at the Harford County Sheriff's Office. Stay with us. I am now joined with Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gaylor, here to talk to us about one of his prize employees from the Arc, Mr. Jack. What is it like to work with Jack, and why is it so important to employ people with differing abilities? Sheriff Gaylor is here to tell us all about it. Hello, Sheriff.
Hi, Christy. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. Now, Sheriff Gaylor, how long have you been in office?
I was elected in December of 2014. Well, November. I took office December of 2014.
Now, I understand that you've been employing someone with differing abilities, Jack, for years. Tell me about the first time you actually heard his name.
Oh, Jack's the most famous person here at the Sheriff's Office. Some people say it's the elected sheriff. I don't think so. When I was first elected, I got a phone call during the transition month. And during that phone call, I was asked, the rumor's out there you're going to get rid of Jack. And I said, who's Jack? And they said, Jack from the Arc, who works in the building, takes care of the trash, and does odds and ends around the building for you. And I'm like, well, I don't know who Jack is, but I don't know why I'd be firing him. So just one of those rumors, things that go around. But indeed, you get here and you meet Jack, and you come to know Jack. And Jack has such a passion for this office, for the Harford County Sheriff's Office, for the men and women who work here. No one in their right mind, nor was I about to get rid of Jack. So he's a very welcome member of our Sheriff's Office family.
What is it like to employ Jack?
Well, it's funny, the timing of this coming out of what we hope is coming out of the COVID threat, because since I've been here, Jack has been a constant. Jack never misses a day of work. He's always here. He's always chipper. He's always ready to do his job. He's never complaining. somewhere in that time span, he's had to have days where he hasn't felt well, but you don't see it. He comes here, he does what he needs to do every single day, again, with a passion for coming to the office. But we had to, and the ARC had to make a decision to keep him out of the workplace. We had a lot of our employees who couldn't come in every single day. And Jack is, getting up there in years, so he stayed home for about, I think, a couple months. So we just recently got him back into the building, and everyone was so looking forward to him coming back to work. He has to wear a mask and keeps his face shield on while he's doing his chores, but it's great to have him back in the building.
Now, I understand that Jack is a very happy-go-lucky guy, and he always comes to work with a smile. Tell me what it's like from the time he walks in the door until the time he leaves.
Oh, when he comes in, he starts his rounds, but on those rounds he'll be visiting, and he'll be having a conversation about the night before, the weekend before, about what movies he's watched or what things he got into or what's happening at the ARC. So he's always full of stories, and he's always inquisitive because he knows a lot of the members go out of their way to find patches, coins. He's an avid collector of so many things that for law enforcement that our men and women have, patches, coins, any insignia that he can get his hands on. So he's always, part of him, I'm sure, is always anticipating whether someone has something for him on that particular day. I've seen his house. I don't know where he's storing all this because I don't think the house is big enough for his museum of different law enforcement memorabilia. But he has quite the collection, and every man and woman that works here and throughout the sheriff's office, they know of Jack's passion for collection, and if they can grab him something, if they see something unique, and coffee cups or different things, they pick it up for him.
Now tell me about the celebration that was held for Jack last year.
Every year we celebrate birthdays, and everyone's birthday, but when Jack's birthday comes around, we knew that this was a big one. Ever since I got here, he talked about the different badges. And sometimes he'll go to yard sales and he'll find, a lot of times it's a kid's badge or something, toy badge, and he'll buy it. So he comes in here talking about the badges, and since I became sheriff, he talked to me all the time about our badge. So I asked one day before, way back, if he had a badge or they'd ever thought of giving him one, and found out he did not have his own badge. So we ordered it for him. Unfortunately, it wasn't here by his birthday. So I think we were about a month or a month and a half behind his birthday when it finally came in. It is a Harford County Sheriff's Office badge, identical to the one I'm wearing, other than when mine says Sheriff, his has his name on it, says Jack. So he's as much as Jack can show you, I think that was probably one of the most special days when we presented him with this badge. Every day he comes to work, he has it around his neck, and he's true family. He always has been, but I think that badge shows everyone that he's a true family member of the Harford County Sheriff's Office.
Now, last year, Jack's story went national, and when that happened, you started receiving mail with patches from all over the world. What was that experience like for you and your staff?
We're all proud of Jack, and we're all happy to have him as a member of our family. But it got picked up by a couple of the story with the badge, got picked up by a couple of the national publications in law enforcement circles. They had a picture of him with his patch collection. So we started getting a whole lot more letters, mailings in, kind words, coins, and letters. And we did a form letter back that Jack and I both signed. So Jack signs it first, and then I signed under the side, just thanking that person for taking the time to acknowledge Jack, send him a little something. And Jack and I send him, on behalf of all the men and women of the Sheriff's Office, a shoulder patch back to whoever sent us something in. So we added to his collection greatly within the last year.
If you were to speak to another government agency or business about employing someone with differing abilities, what would you tell them the experience has been like for you?
I can't imagine a better experience, but I'm sure our friends at the ARC could tell you story after story after story. Jack, again, if he could be a poster child for their organization and on how well someone could work with your organization, fit in, fold right in, and we're not the easiest to work with. A lot of type A personalities in law enforcement and corrections, but again, Jack makes it so easy, and he's more of the popular person here than some of our, I don't know if you call them Chippendale deputies, some of the better looking deputies. Jack's the rock star of the Harford County Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff Gaylor, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do for the Sheriff's Office and for us as a community, keeping us safe and well.
Thank you. Very kind, Christy. Thank you.
Well, coming up next, we're actually going to get the opportunity to meet Jack, and Sheriff Gaylor has a very special award that we're going to present to Jack, and he has no idea it's coming. Something you don't want to miss. Stay tuned.
Well, do you know what's coming?
No.
You know what's in there?
No.
What do you think? You got a guess?
I don't guess.
Do you know how long you've been here?
A long time.
Long time. Does it seem like 20 years?
Yeah.
There's your 20-year award.
Let me get my hand.
It's heavy.
I want to put it this way. It'll be easier.
It says 20 years professional excellence to the Harford County Sheriff's Office, 4/15/2000 to 4/15/2020, and it has my name on it there. But how many sheriffs have you been through?
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yes.
So hopefully it's going to be this one when we get to the 25 year, right?
Yes.
We'll get you one that says 25 for the other hand,
Yeah.
and it'll have my name on it also.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, don't go anywhere. Me and Sean want to get in a picture with you.
Oh, we're gonna-
Anybody else want in? Patrick?
I'll be.
Oh. Joe?
Let's hold it out front. Here, you can scoot. You can go. I'll go on the far side.
No, you should be next to Jack.
Oh.
Yep, you should be next to you.
You
Not many
I'll move
people
my
get
hand.
those, Jack.
Probably get my hand away.
Don't block your face.
A little bit more, Jack. More down, a little bit more. A little bit more.
Down here. Just your arm. Just lower it. There you go.
There you go.
Jack Garcia is an employee here at the Harford County Sheriff's Office. He's also supported by the Arc Northern Chesapeake region. He's here to tell us about his experience and what it's like working at the Sheriff's Office. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Now, Jack, can you tell me how old you are?
78.
78, and you don't look a day over 40. I love it.
Yes.
Now, where did you grow up?
Actually, grew up down on Gay Street.
Okay, so you're from Baltimore City.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I understand you've been working for the sheriff's office for a really long time, but this isn't your first job.
Well, actually, went to Sinai Hospital as a custodian.
Okay. And then after that, did you come to the sheriff's office?
Not right away. I only came to the Arc by mistake looking for a job.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, good things happen that way, right?
Yes.
I know when you were a child, you worked with your family's farm stand. What was that like, and what did you do?
Well, I worked in store because I was just 5 years old when I worked there in the store because we lived there for a long time. And then started working there and then worked my way up to like unloading semi-truck. Well, it actually came to bring tomatoes.
Oh, wow. So you had a lot on your shoulders there.
Yeah.
What do you do at the sheriff's office?
I empty their trash and take the recycle.
And what about the people that you work with? Tell me about some of them.
Well, they're actually like Christy, and sometimes I talk to,
Kyle?
Kyle, and once in a while go back and talk to the sheriff or the colonel or the majors.
Jack, most people your age are retired. Do you have any plans to retire anytime soon?
No.
Well, that's good news for us.
Let's talk about your patch collection. When did you first start collecting patches?
Since the first one I gotten, and most of them were ones that came from over in Italy when the sheriff went there, and the officer just tore it off his uniform and gave it to me.
Now, what was your first patch?
I can't remember. I have many of them. Like Baltimore City to Baltimore County, to Howard County, Prince George, Ocean City, and a few other ones from different states like California, New York, Chicago. No, that's all the other ones that came in. But then mostly some of them are bigger ones and some of them are smaller. Some of them are fire departments and got all Harford County Sheriff's emblems.
Do you have any idea how many patches you might have?
No, I never count them. Too many.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite patches that you can tell me about?
Well, actually, the favorite one is Harford County.
Aww.
That's the new one.
The newest patch.
Yes.
Now, a few months ago, I know your story went national. You were on TV, you were in the Washington Post. How did that affect you? What was it like being on TV and people recognizing you all throughout the country?
It's like you being a famous movie star, though.
Well, you are a famous movie star here in Harford County.
Yes.
Jack, thank you so much. Congratulations
Yes.
on all your accomplishments.
Yes, welcome.
Well, Jack, as you have seen today, is a local hero, and we couldn't be prouder of everything that he has done. He makes Harford County proud.
The Arc Northern Chesapeake and the Harford County Sheriff's Office take pride in offering job opportunities for those with differing abilities in our community. As you have seen, star employees like Jack really make an impact, a lasting impact on our community. If you would like to learn more about their organization, you can visit them at arcncr.org. I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.